Welcome to First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis, the birthplace of Congregational Humanism. We carry on that tradition of free thought today, dedicated to promoting a free search for truth, meaning, and justice. Our web address is firstunitarian.org. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, and thanks for being here with us this morning. Happy May Day, or very close to May Day for everybody. If there's a lot of fun happening on Bloomington and 35th, May Day parade and music, and a beautiful day for that. So we are here in May, which is going to be the month of imagination, is kind of our theme for the month. I also, before I forget, next Sunday is a very special music Sunday. We have two a year. This upcoming one next Sunday is going to feature our FUS Chorus, and the Lux String Quartet is going to come here, and we're going to perform a piece by Ola Gielo, a Norwegian composer who is really wonderful and writes some excellent music. So we're going to do some of that, and then Lux String Quartet is going to play some music by the Danish String Quartet called Woodworks, which are some contemporary settings of Danish folk songs for string quartet. So it's really a nice program. We're going to have students from Minnesota Youth Symphonies playing here as well, so don't miss it. It's a great morning next Sunday, May 11th. Okay, so today, to kind of work into this Imagination Sunday, I've got a composition called First Warm Day, and it is just something I imagine all the time, as I'm sure us Minnesotans do. You just have to be like, I know it's coming. I know we're going to make it. Some days we don't believe it. We get that one in March, but that one doesn't count. You know, this is the one that today maybe is really it. This is, wow, is it beautiful. It's going to be so nice all day and warm and really warm. So that feeling, just try to capture that in a song. And then just to maybe hit the nail too much on the head, we've got Pure Imagination from Willy Wonka in the middle as a piece for Imagination Month. And then at the end, there's a composition by saxophone player Wayne Shorter called Night Dreamer, which is, you know, where a lot of imagination happens in our dreams. So, first and foremost here, we'll get started with First Warm Day.
Well, welcome to First Unitarian Society on this absolutely beautiful Sunday morning in Minneapolis. And welcome to this first Sunday in May to the theme of imagination, something that is much needed in a time when present reality can be so demoralizing, deeply concerning, and even tragic. Today we imagine a new reality, a reality that includes 10 new members joining today, a new and different world, even when our imaginings might seem as unrealistic as science fiction. Whatever brought you here today, however you are choosing to show up, whatever you're hoping for, whichever of the myriad possibilities and emotions that you may be feeling right now, this time, this space, this community is here for you. Love is at the center of this faith. First Unitarian Society is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations, and I'm Rev. Jullan Stoneberg, your Interim Minister. I use she, her pronouns. Our programming is on-site live and on demand 24/7, and right now we're online live, which means that there are a whole lot of friends who are joining us from all over the metro area and beyond. We may not be able to see you, but we can imagine your real and felt presence with us. Let us remind ourselves of the need to walk humbly upon this land, this magnificent land and its waterways, which are the cultural and spiritual and traditional indigenous homeland of the Dakota Oyate. We acknowledge that we continue to benefit from many unfavorable treaties, military campaigns, and settler colonialism, which reshaped the history of the Dakota people. May we do more than speak words and endeavor to work more closely and more reparatively with the people whose homeland we occupy. For those of you who are new with us, again, I bid you a warm welcome. Please join us for our weekly mini-meal in the lower assembly hall after the service. And if you'd like to connect more, stop by the office to sign up to receive our newsletter. We're a multi-generational community, and there's always room for families and kids here in the assembly hall. We welcome the presence of all of you, your movements, your sounds. And if you so choose or need it, the childcare is available down the hall on the right. Well, it's left down the hall, and then it's on the right as you exit this space. If you're with us online, you might like to join the live stream through YouTube, because there you can use the chat to say hello to your virtual companions and interact in a little bit in that way. There's a link to do that right on the live stream page that you may be watching from. And now I invite you, wherever you are, to take a moment to welcome this beautiful morning, to greet those around you, and to introduce yourselves to someone you don't already know. It's a great time to get a teal songbook if you'd like one, or to use the QR code that'll be on the screen to access an order of service. So welcome.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. Hopefully that works. Thank you. Let us breathe. Settle into this time and space. Center yourselves. This morning we have a trio of readings by Reverend Michelle Collins. The first I will share with you as opening words. Here we are together, bearers of imagination, creators of new worlds. It is our imagination that lifts us beyond despair, that whispers, "What if?" and dares us to answer. Today, we gather to renew that spark, to embrace the power to dream. So come, let us imagine boldly together. Paul is coming to light our chalice flame, and those of you at home are encouraged to create a bit of light with a candle or a flashlight right along with us. Our flames everywhere, all at once, are being lit and brought to life with these words, again, of Michelle Collins. Maybe? No, that was the thing that didn't work. Why don't you read this? Oh. Let's read this one. We aspire to live joyfully and ethically in loving, reverent relationship with humanity and nature. And so our chalice is lit. Let's speak our congregational covenant together. Love is the spirit of this place, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. So, ready to sing. This is one of my favorites. If you don't know it yet, I'm guessing it might become one of yours. It's got a pretty astounding piano accompaniment, so it's wonderful that we have Mike to play it with us. So please rise in all the ways we do to sing Morning Has Come. It's number 1000 in the Teal Book. Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of So now I invite those of you who are participating in our new member welcome to come forward. There are 10 folks joining us, although they're not all here in person. So why don't you all just come right up here on the dais? So I'm just going to read their names, and maybe as I read your name, you could raise your hand so people can just kind of identify who's who. First, Jackie Haviland, Andy Shager, is that right? Andy?
Andy, oh yeah. Shager, yeah.
That's Andy. Tom Moore, Carly Robeson, Sean Siberio, Yacinda Siberio, Marcelo Garza, Tanya Martinez, Betsy Lamal, and Stella Painter, who is back there. So today we welcome these new members to First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis, where human beings have gathered for well over 100 years, seeking a higher purpose and deeper life than they could find alone. We're grateful today for each of you that you have found your way here, that you've decided to make a commitment to this community. And we hope that as members of this congregation, you will allow yourselves to know and to be known, to minister to and to be ministered unto, to love and to be loved by this community. We begin with these wise words from Reverend Dr. William Schultz, the former president of the Unitarian Universalist Association. This is the mission of our faith: to teach the fragile art of hospitality, to revere both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to witness to all that we must hold the whole world in our hands.
As chair of the First Unitarian Society Board of Trustees, I can speak for all of us in joyfully welcoming you into our congregation. We gratefully acknowledge your choice to join us. May you find among us fellowship and help in time of need. We pledge our support and our encouragement as you join us in our search for truth and meaning and our striving toward justice. New members all say together.
We come to this congregation aware of the privileges and responsibilities of membership. We bring our talents and our enthusiasm, our shortcomings and our doubts, our gifts and our hopes. We join this congregation celebrating freedom of conscience and working for justice and peace.
We rejoice in the promise of new connections. May those who share this journey with us always find a loving community here.
Into this community, these new members are now enfolded. May this congregation nurture and challenge them, offering comfort and guidance and calling forth the best within them. May they, in turn, bring energy, vision, and laughter, that this may become ever more fully the community it strives to be.
So let us now all join together in reading the shared aspirations of the First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis. We aspire to live joyfully and ethically in loving, reverent relationship with humanity and nature. Pursue wisdom through reason, science, art, and the stories of civilizations. Make the change we need for a more just, compassionate, and peaceful world. Support one another's journey toward meaning and connection in the here and now. And now please join me in welcoming our new members.
Okay. First Unitarian Society is a congregational humanist community. We are here for each other, our neighbors, and our planet, and one manifestation of that is our caring team. I'm a member of that team, and we're here for you. There is simultaneously both joy and hardship in our midst. If at any time there's something happening in your life that you'd like to share with the care team or with this community, or if you need some support, please send a note to joysandconcerns@firstunitarian.org. You can also do this using the contact form on our website. After the assembly, you're invited to stop by the card basket downstairs to send a note to folks you're especially thinking of today. This morning we shared the good news that Jay Elkerton is here after some time in rehab following his bike accident. May his healing continue. You're invited in the following moments of silence to reflect on all the joys, losses, griefs, and milestones in our lives, in the lives of those we love, and in the lives of all beings everywhere. We take this time that we might connect with our shared humanity, to embrace and celebrate the beautiful range of human diversity, to commit ourselves to showing up for those who need support, and to remember all who are suffering. The list of suffering is painfully long, including earthquakes in New Zealand and Tajikistan, floods in the United States, in Somalia, and in Peru, as well as a forest fire in Chile. And we continue to remember those living in war zones in Gaza, Ukraine, and Haiti, and Sudan. The list goes on and on. A moment of silence.
This reflection by Martha Durkee Newman begins with a quote from Philip Pullman's In the Amber Spyglass, a novel set in a number of worlds dominated by the magisterium, a theocracy which actively suppresses heresy. Each player in this drama has a role to play and a sacrifice to make. Lyra and Will have the most dangerous task of all. They must journey to a place where no living soul has ever gone and from which there is no escape. Here's the quote. Will considered what to do. When you choose one way out of many, all the ways you don't take are snuffed out like candles, as if they've never existed. At that moment, all Will's choices existed at once, but to keep them all in existence meant doing nothing. He had to choose after all. Then Rev. Durkee Newman writes this. When I was a youth, the young adult fantasy series by Philip Pullman, His Dark Materials, was an important source of spiritual guidance for me. Something I love about being a Unitarian Universalist is drawing sacred texts from places such as the shelves of the middle school library. In the final book of the series, one of the young protagonists has a decision to make, upon which possibly the fate of our world and the next world hangs. Before he decides, he evaluates his options as if they are lit candles before him. This short passage returned to me recently when I was faced with a hard, brave choice. I saw all my options in front of me as lit candles. Waiting there for me representing different things, different paths, all looking particularly enticing and bright and shiny and glittery, and some maybe a little frightening, and all of them on fire. Before I chose, when all my options were still in existence, I felt attached to all those candles. I didn't want to choose and snuff out all my other options. Eventually, I made my choice, but I still grieved the candles I had blown out. This is a year in which hard, brave choices will be required of all of us. Our world is changing. So much is in flux. Increasingly, we are faced with questions and decisions about our money, our time, our place in history, how we act, how we don't act, what matters, what we give our attention to, what kind of world we're building. We cannot afford to linger in front of all the candles aflame in front of us. Will had to choose after all. It takes courage to blow out the candles of the roads we will not travel. But in this moment, our task is to find this courage and lift it up, and lucky for us, we have each other. We do not have to do this alone. And on the other side of that decision, we can travel forward together with our one remaining candle to light the way. So come and find me, travel alongside me. Bring me your courage, because Lord knows I don't have enough on my own. Together we can blow out the candles of the roads not taken, and then we can go forward side by side.
Man, I could listen to that all day. I begin by offering gratitude and all respect to author and activist Adrienne Maree Brown. Her wisdom was a great gift to me as I composed what to say this morning, and her ideas and snippets of her words are found throughout my reflection today. You know, I'm not really a lover of science fiction or dystopian narratives, and my disfavor can even extend to animation, be that in print or in movies. I think I'm in the minority. Who here, by a raise of hands, loves these genres? Oh, see? There's a lot of you out there. Sometime I'd love to explore with you why you love this. Because I am fascinated by its many cultural expressions, from Octavia Butler's work depicting a future of societal collapse and the importance of adaptation and hope in the face of adversity, to Japanese anime exploring the themes of overcoming adversity and the importance of perseverance. It's fascinating, but still, they don't really capture my interest. I haven't even been able to get into the show Severance, though again, it has a huge following, like from many of you, I think. It too is a kind of science fiction, exploring the exploitation and control by corporations, the impact of work-life balance and identity and well-being, and the struggle for autonomy and free will in a seemingly oppressive system. But maybe that's not science fiction after all. I guess what I'm saying is it's no surprise that these shows and books and stories are so popular right now. I suspect I'm missing something. In this time when indeed society seems to be collapsing, when inequalities are broadening, when the planet is overheating, we need a greater, more expansive imagination. And many believe that the rise in the popularity of dystopian fiction is because we are all seeking a safe space to wrestle with and perhaps displace all of the fear that we're feeling. We're needing to wrestle with the possibility of imagining a different kind of world, a better and different world. Now, Adrienne Maree Brown believes that all organizing, all social justice work is science fiction. She says, she says, trying to create a world that we've never experienced and never seen is a science-fictional activity. A world we've never seen or experienced is the stuff of science fiction. Now, science fiction is described as being based on imagined future scientific or technological advances and major social and environmental changes, though frequently it portrays space or time travel or life on other planets. There is just as much that can be imagined right here on Earth that hasn't yet been possible. Now, I know that in these times, with this current administration, many are calling for a return to democracy, a return to what used to be, a longing to go back to when government served the needs of the people and our leaders worked to restore cooperation and peace in times of unrest. Yes, and in truth, I don't think we should look back to find a brighter time. We need to imagine the future, because we have not yet experienced a true democracy, a place where all people have a voice. We've not yet lived in a world where leadership believes that injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. A global community in which the common good is the highest goal, where the health of our planet is prioritized and tended with care, where the least of these are consistently triaged to get foremost attention and resources. In Adrienne Maree Brown's words, we who live in this country on this earth today have barely experienced the wonder of our planet. We have not experienced a world without homelessness, poverty, inequality, white supremacy, patriarchy, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism, rape culture, slavery, environmental degradation, climate crisis, or prisons. Such a world, a world without all of these horrible and ordinary things, remains science fiction. And yet, let's not forget that our current reality is itself evidence of some historical imagination. You know, while the aspirations for this country were high, a world where all men were created equal, where rights were endowed by our Creator, where life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness would be allowed and enjoyed, imaginations were also present then for a country of supremacy and dominance. There were imaginations of a capitalist economic system that was built on the exploitation of people and of resources. Imaginations that then were practiced and vehemently and violently upheld until they became reality. Imagination has always been the spark that determines the future, for good or for ill. So what is it that you want to imagine? What is the world that you envision? I invite you to even close your eyes and just imagine. What's that world? Open your mind. Get expansive. Imagine the future as you'd want it to be, even if it seems like science fiction. Just imagine it. Would anyone like to call out something that you're imagining? I know you're thinking beautiful thoughts.
Education for all the children in Africa.
Education for all the children in Africa. Yes.
Healthcare for all.
Healthcare for all.
The arrest of Netanyahu in Israel.
The rights?
No, the arrest.
The arrest of Netanyahu in Israel.
ICC.
Yeah.
Peace in Ukraine.
Peace in Ukraine.
Homes for immigrants.
Homes for immigrants.
Stop the interference of the United States government.
Stop the interference of the United States government.
Return those from Ecuador.
Return those from Ecuador. This imagination, it is powerful, and change begins with imagining it. Change begins with imagining a different world. Do you remember the metaphor in what Molly read? When you choose one way out of many, when you imagine the choice you will make, all the ways you don't take are snuffed out like candles as if they'd never existed. Which says to me that if we imagine a particular future, we will choose the path that gets us there, and all the other, less desirable options will lose power and light. All the things that distract us. Because when we allow all the choices to remain in existence, that's the same as doing nothing. We have to choose the path that moves us toward the world of which we dream. We have to choose. And again, when we do that, we diminish or even extinguish possibilities that would keep things the same or even contribute to harms. Choosing to lean into our imaginations, our imaginings, kindles new fires in the world, new, better, more just possibilities. As Ruha Benjamin has said, remember to imagine and craft the worlds you cannot live without, just as you dismantle the ones you cannot live within. So many powerful forces today are trying to squelch out our imaginations, to make us overwhelmed by that number of candles, fires burning everywhere, to lose our way, to not know what to do. So imagine, and let that imagining be the light that guides your choices in every moment, big or small. Keep imagining a better world. Creating that world is a grand human project that's just right for this community. because it requires humans solving human problems. It requires hands-on humanism. Humanism, imagining a humane and ethical world. That's what this community is all about. And I know it's daunting. And yet, the only way that big change happens is by the amassing of tiny, small, seemingly insignificant changes. Changes that each of us can make. Changes that look like getting to know your neighbors, when we might otherwise just doom scroll endlessly. When we not only offer help, but accept it as well. It looks like creating systems of support and strategy with people who are pursuing common dreams. Changes like choosing to have difficult conversations in which we both listen to the other and express our own heart's yearnings. Changes like showing up for protests and actions. And to change, to choose, means to do something different. To change means to leave destructive or unhelpful behaviors and thought patterns behind. Things that will be snuffed out by our actions, by our choices. We need to begin to imagine, or perhaps even create a new kind of science fiction genre, one in which the characters and heroes practice new ways of being within just systems of liberation, in communities of right relationship, in countries where leaders make choices with the 7 generations to come in mind. We need to imagine these new worlds so that the imagining changes our ideas of what's possible, so that we, here in small circles of humanity, this small circle of humanity, can make choices that lead us there. Now, Adrienne Maree Brown suggests that science fiction answers 3 fundamental questions. What if only, and if this goes on? So what if? What if there were no war, no police killings, no prisons? What if all children had access to the same resources? What if each individual could know and be known outside of any preconceived identity constructs? What if we could hold each other accountable through love and boundaries and consequences? What if? And if only democracy was a real practice rather than a theory or a bludgeon. If only our economy were a cooperative one. If only abundance for all was a reality. If only the current movement for justice were to break new ground and create new ways of being. Because if this goes on, if this new imagining goes on, if this choosing the path to collective liberation goes on, then we can only imagine what could be. Pure imagination, which Mike played just a bit ago, has these lyrics. If you want to view paradise, simply look at them and view it. Somebody to hold on to, it's all we really need, nothing else to it. This is not Pollyannaism. It's not Hallmark saccharine. This is tough shit. And I mean it, it is. Change has to begin with really hard-won imagination, insistent and persistent imagination, because right now we are in an imagination battle for our future, and it is fierce. And it requires courage and resilience. Your choice, my choice, to spark the fires of imagination and to snuff out the candles of defeatism or denial or inaction or complicity, these choices matter, and we can't afford to linger. How we act or don't act sets the precedent for what will come into being. I close with Adrienne Maree Brown's closing words in her keynote for the St. Louis Racial Equity Summit in 2021. I am aware of how so much of what I imagine, liberation from the cycles of harm and supremacy, being in relationships of sovereignty and safety in our own bodies and on our planet, letting love be a guide to how we understand everything from identity to economy. These imaginings may still seem peculiar and strange and queer. So I want to share a quote from Ella Baker. "This may only be a dream of mine, but I think it can be made real." What we dream is ours to do. May it be so. So now let's imagine that we could sing again. We're going to do it. I know we can do it. Please rise in body and our spirit to sing "Building a New Way." It's 10:17 in the Teal Songbook, and the words are on the screen.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Green. I have she, her pronouns, and I am a member of your Board of Trustees. This morning, I had the pleasure of having breakfast with our new members over here. I didn't get to talk to everybody, unfortunately, but I hope to at some point as we keep moving forward. But the members I did get to talk to, I mean, what fantastic new energy that they're bringing to our congregation here. And I'm sure you've been told about all the different committees and everything that are here. So I would encourage you to look at those and join. That's a really great way of becoming more integrated with the congregation. But you know what? If there's not something there, you can come up with your own, right? Just whatever you want to imagine, because this is your place. This is your place. And that goes for everybody here, no matter how long you have been a member of this congregation. This is your place. And if you haven't checked into what committees are out there lately, I suggest you check, because things change here a lot. There's always new things being added. That's because we decide. We get to decide what happens here. So the leadership here is not top down. We are the leaders here, because First Unitarian is a free, independent, and self-governing humanist community. As members and friends of this community, we share the gifts of our time and energy, our creativity, our imagination and vision, our talents, our skills, and our treasure. Your financial support is an important element in turning our shared vision into reality. As the baskets are passed, you are invited to give generously and joyfully as you are willing and able. Or you can use the QR code on the screen, which will be there at some point, which will take you to our online giving form, or you can stop by the office or mail in your donation. And please feel free to reach out to us with any questions about giving to First Unitarian Society.
Good morning. I'm Heather Martens, the chair of the Board of Trustees here at FUS. And I'm pleased to announce that the congregation has voted and the Board of Trustees has set the composition of the ministerial search team according to the process that we have laid out for you. This job is going to be a heavy lift of determining who our next minister will be to lead us in shared imagination into the future starting in the fall of 2026. 15 people were on the ballot and ready to make that commitment to FUS, and I want to thank every one of them, as well as the other people who were willing to serve and weren't even on the ballot. And some of those you'll see joining other boards in a couple weeks. The spirit of service here runs deep, and I'm really grateful for that. So without further ado, I will announce the Ministerial Search Team 2025. As I call your name, if you're in the upper assembly hall, please stand up. And when everybody is standing, let's give them a big hand. Bob Adderhold, he's back there. Don't clap yet. Phil Duran, Martha Hardesty, Stella Painter, she's our youth representative, Karen Rowell, Christine Salm, she's actually the next few people are going to be downstairs. Christine Salm, Denise Victoria de Morelis, and Carl Winthrop Davies. Now let's give them a big hand. And I say to the team, we are all ready to support you in your honored task by sharing our thoughts, our feelings, and our values with you, that you may do the work with seriousness and with joy.
Well, to take it down a notch, I'm Scott Eller, and I want to talk about the auction, which is now this weekend. That would be Saturday, May 10th, from 5 to 8. And I'm here to persuade you to attend the auction. So let's start with a show of hands of people who have never been to our auction. Oh boy. More science fiction people than that. Okay. My own journey toward the auction is perhaps instructive. I have been a member for about 25 years. For sure, the first half of those, I never went to the auction. It doesn't sound very compelling. Who wants to go to an auction? What, farm implements? What, why would I want to go to an auction? It's a fundraiser, terrific. How often do we get invited to fundraisers? It didn't move me to come. I don't know why. And I think those with your hands up understand what I'm talking about. But that's the wrong impression, because now that I've gone, like everybody in this room who has gone, you keep coming all the time. For very practical and very good reasons. First of all, it's just a lot of fun. It is, you can start with the food part. For $15 for the price of a new ticket for a first-time attendee, for sure you can eat and drink $15 worth of stuff. It is a very nice spread of food served up in the foyer out here. It is an open bar. I didn't say cash bar, I said open bar. Beer, wine, and soft drinks. That alone can make this be a reason for coming. The entertainment, of course we have live music, but our entertainer, the auctioneer, he's really more an entertainer than an auctioneer. You've seen pictures of him sometimes. He is hilarious, and the live auction from 7 to 8, you don't have to bid, you don't have to think about bidding to get the entertainment value out of that. More important than all of those things is community, and we've been talking about a lot about engagement and community and getting together with people in this room in lots of different experiences, and that's what this is. It's another aspect of community engagement. I think, not to paraphrase Rev. Jullan, but certainly she's been talking about in these horrendous political times, the more things we can do, the more involvement we can do, the more engagement we can have, makes us better, right? Makes us feel better, makes us want to do this. Is that a bad summary? Is that okay? Okay. It really, trust me on this one. There will be those in this room who finally come to the auction, and you will come to me or members of our large committee afterwards and say, I don't know what, now I'm in to do this more often. Other things you can do, we'll have a table downstairs today again to help you register or bid on things if you want to. The online auction is going. There must be 200 really interesting items. And many of those even further community. It's not just stuff, it's experiences. It's dinners and barbecues and group tours of things and many, many group activities that you can bid on to be part of for even more community. And that's kind of what this is all about. And so I hope to see you Saturday night. Bye.
I will be there. So now, if you are someone who is new and is ready to learn more about this community and explore our pathway to membership, Suzanne is holding an information session in room 307, bless you, in room 307 at noon. So if anyone would like to join her there today, you can learn more. You're also invited to stop by the Active Voices postcard table downstairs after to support SF 1690, which is a bill to fund the creation of e-waste drop-off centers for metals that are harmful if trashed or incinerated. Then after the mini meal, everybody's invited to come back up here for another foraging for our future session. This time we're talking about why we gather, and that starts at 12:15. The annual meeting is fast approaching, and all members are invited to attend on Sunday, May 18th at 12:15 here. And you'll find more about organizational plans and be able to provide input. And let's see, all ethical explorers are encouraged to come next Sunday at 10:30 to prepare their projects to share with the congregation during the Ethical Explorers exhibition, which is AKA E-Cubed. That is Saturday, May 24th in the afternoon. I think it's at 5. And if you're here in person after the assembly, please join us downstairs for a mini meal consisting of street tacos with chorizo, chicken tinga, roasted vegetables, Spanish rice, black beans, chips and salsa, and tres leches cake. And if you're able to contribute to the cost of the meal, at the front of the line downstairs, you'll find a donation jar and a credit card reader, or you can scan a QR code. This morning is especially a great time to get to know our new members, who most are wearing little felt corsages, so please find them and get to know them a bit. Now, take all these things into your hearts and take a moment to breathe and soak in all that we've shared together today as we experience one more piece of music. Paul, would you grab the mic? Paul? Oh. That's okay. I didn't ask it. So, as we close, let's thank everyone for their joyful and capable participation. Mike for this morning's music, and Paul and John and Molly and Lisa and the tech crew and the cooks and their helpers and our greeters and so many others. As Lisa said, serving here really makes this place tick and hum. We also thank our wonderful staff and again welcome all of our new members. So let's wrap up our time together in this space by extinguishing our chalice. Please join Paul and me in speaking the words on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. All of these we carry in our hearts and in our minds until we are together again. So now, go out into the world. Hold on to what is good. Strengthen the weak, comfort the fearful, serve the suffering, do what makes you come alive. Our closing words are the third in the trilogy from Michelle Collins. Though the flame is extinguished, the embers of imagination remain. Carry them forward, dream boldly, act with love, and go out to kindle new fires in the world. May it be so.